Hey guys, Elite Legionario here, and today I'll be bringing you a 2 vs 2 on the Grassy Plains map from Medieval 2 Total War. And I'll be teaming up with Theevilguru or Reaver, one of my subscribers who I've played many games with on Rome Total War and Barbarian Invasion. He finally got his Med 2 going, or sorted out, so we'll be able to play some Med 2 games now, which is pretty sweet. So I'll be in command of the Mongols. He will have Poland, our opponents, Muwaza, and Lord Lidl will be in command of the Holy Roman Empire and Venice. So I've gone with a pretty traditionalist Roman Mongol army. I have 2 units of spear militia as a meat shield, 5 units dismounted heavy lancers, probably more than I usually go with. I think it's 6 units of dismounted heavy archers. These guys are very good. 4 units of Khan's Guard and 2 units of Mongol heavy mounted archers. And this Holy Roman Empire army is well put together. Several pike militia, 3 dismounted feudal knights, and it looks to be a very, very large and dangerous contingent of, I think, 7 units of Pubby's crossbowmen. These guys are extremely hard to kill with archers because of that big shield on their back. They can rip through your armoured units with that crossbow, and actually very hard to work for archers to defeat. Anyway, he's also got 2 more units of feudal knights back here for a total of 5. He's got 2 units of mailed knights and 4 units of imperial knights. No, 4 units of imperial knights rather. Which is a good unit, although I think the Teutonic knights are actually even better. But sometimes it's nice to vary it up. So originally he was my ally Reaver was going with a more of a defensive setup. As you can see, he deployed stakes, but he doesn't go with that. He's going to sort of more of an individual, two 1 vs 1s going on. I'm trying to skirmish with him, but I'm not having a lot of success with it actually. It doesn't really go my way all that well. I probably should have got more offensive sooner in this fight, but it just doesn't really work that well. So as you can see, my heavy archers are actually not having much success at all against these Pubby's crossbowmen. This is why I love the Holy Roman Empire so much, because they don't have muskets, they don't have great archers, but these Pubby's crossbowmen are so good. In conjunction with some really, just the great all-roundness of the Holy Roman Empire, which I like the most. Plus it's black, it's a good colour. Poland is another very good faction, and I believe it's Reaver's favourite. He's got 4 units of Lithuanian archers, 5 units of dismounted Polish nobles. I was a wee bit surprised he brought so many of these. They're cool and everything, but they are spearmen, so they're not really going to be able to go all that great in an infantry fight against other heavy infantry. He's got 4 units of Polish knights. I would have brought more of these if I were him, particularly if I knew I was going to be up against Venice and the Holy Roman Empire. He's got 2 units of Polish guard there on that flank. And it looks like he went for a battle out over here, which entailed 2 more units of Polish Guard and a Polish Nobles unit there. The Venetian player, he has, it's 4 units of Italian spear militia. These guys, Italian Venetian heavy infantry, should have no trouble ripping through any of that Polish infantry. He's got several Venetian archers that are a bit clumped, 4 of those by the looks of things. Some more heavy infantry. Sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied here. A couple of broken lances and 3 more Venetian heavy infantry and a Knights Templar. So he's going to bring his knights in. And this is not a bad move. He's going for some. I'd actually be going for these Venetian heavy infantry if I were him. I wouldn't worry about these archers. I'd be going straight after these Venetian heavy infantry if possible. But anyway, I get back to my fight. As you can see, this missile duel is really coming his way. And my horse archers, I was having a bit of frustration with them. They wouldn't go into Cantabrian circle, so I lost a unit pretty much, lost quite a few. And I don't like when they do this. When they go into Cantabrian circle, they fuse themselves together. That just increases the chance of them getting hit. So I was having a bit of problems with that, and limited success really. So what I do is I charge. my men in because I knew this wasn't going to go my way. So I charge, and I want to get my Nafatoons up really quickly. And you probably missed a lot of it actually, but I was binning his, as you can see, a lot of these troops over here that are burnt, I was binning my Nafatoons into them. I made a couple of Nafatoons. Basically I'm just trying to get him, here goes some more Nafatoons going here. So ordinarily these feudal knights would absolutely eat these dismounted heavy lancers alive. They're only spears and they're not very good ones at that. They actually hit some of my own menu with Nafatoons. But these feudal knights are getting bashed by these Nafatoons, which are causing big routes, which is really, really useful. So over here, I charge in here, and I'm actually having some success, but not all I was temporarily, but I'm not expecting to win. I just want to basically bog them down. Here I see a couple of units of Imperial Knights that are not doing anything, so I'm going to get a really nice charge on them. Charge-wise, I think I'm better, but he might be a bit better at melee fighting, although both of us are mace armed in terms of our side weapon. Harassing over here, but I really fail with my Mongol heavy archers. Usually they're the ones that get most of my kills when I play as the Mongols, but not this time. Right, heavy archers, they just don't have the success against these Pavi's crossbowmen. Other crossbowmen or muskets probably be a better choice to deal with them. That or something with superior range, like yeomen or retinue longbowmen in England would be good as well. And there's some other archer units that can probably outrange him as well. So here I managed to rout one of his mailed knights with my spear militia, and I'm just timing my strike to use my other two units of Khan's Guard to take down these other Imperial Knights. So over here, this fight is going my way because of that charge, but it is fairly even.
Only half of our force remains.
So my Nafatoons are having a good time against the pikes. So if we go over to Reaver's fight, it looks like it's fairly even. But these Venetian heavy infantry will pulverise these Polish nobles and dismounted Polish knights pretty easily. The only thing that I've found that can go toe-to-toe with Venetian heavy infantry is conquistadors, and even then it's extremely tight. I do think conquistadors are the best infantry, but Venetian heavy infantry can defeat them. So here I bring in spearmen to offer support in this fight. But the problem I have is I've got no answer to his Pavi's crossmen. I do inflict some damage on them, but because of that shield, a lot of these units are still very strong, and I'm going to struggle to defeat them, basically. As you can see, I've lost more archers than he has Pavi's crossbowmen. The fact he had 7 of them too.
Soon our cowardly foe will flee like a whipped dog.
Yeah, when I've used the Holy Roman Empire, the Pavi's crossbowmen, even when they're outgunned by numerically inferior rather than the enemy, they still often come out either on top or even with them, unless they're outranged. So over here it seems to generate into a very large brawl. Shame Reaver had no cav left. I don't think he's got any cav left. Yeah, this fight's actually going his way, interestingly enough, but I don't think it will stay so for very long. These Venetian heavy infantry will pulverise them. They are armour piercing, and they've got all the abilities of a sword and shield infantry as well. These broken lances to offer some support. So I win the cav fight, I win the infantry fight, but I don't win the missile fight, and because his Pavi's crossbowmen are still so well in number, even though they've been under constant fire,
they have only half their men left.
I'm not going to be able to actually stop the Holy Roman Empire player. So basically his repeated strikes against his units with my heavy archers and my Khan's Guard inflicts some significant damage on his feudal knights, but because I'm in such few numbers, the charge is not nearly as effective as it otherwise would be, as I've shown in many of my other videos. So this is another interesting thing to note. I'll probably continue to mention this, but this time these feudal knights are chainmail armoured, Other videos I have though, that plate armoured, so I don't know what that is. It's kind of a cool, noticeable thing that I've picked up. And as you can see, Reaver's going to get defeated because these cavalry are now available for Hammer and Emblem. And again, Venetian heavy infantry will just not have they just won't be strong enough to stop them. And not without proper cavalry support or superior numbers. So this battle will be real close between me and Muwaza, but it's just his Pubby's crossbowmen. He had an extra 1 over my 6, he had 7, and they're just a lot better than standard archers from what I've heard. It would be better to close the range, or keep them out of range rather, or have something harassing them. But they're actually still quite capable in the melee as well, because I mean, as you can see, the chainmail armor, they're really tough. They can take a beating. With that shield, they just don't take many casualties. With that chainmail, they're strong, and they can inflict heavy damage with that crossbow. So, although the Holy Roman Empire's greatest weakness would probably be its missiles, greatest weakness would be its missiles. These Pubby's crossbowmen are just really, really good. Other factions can get them too, though. But they're the best that the Holy Roman Empire can get in terms of missile units, but very deadly. So over here, it's very even between Reaver and what's his name now? Lord Little. But these Cavs give Lord Little quite the advantage, as I've shown you, when it comes to fighting heavy infantry. But that's where those Polish nobles will probably have their usefulness, because of their spears. But I don't know whether he's got any left, so unfortunately these spears won't be of much use. Because a lot of these Venetian archers have survived, and they are now flaming him quite mercilessly, which will cause his men to lose morale. So, although I will get a few extra kills with my Cav, my archers are pretty outdone now by his Pubby's crossbowmen, which are quite weakened. But I mean, if you look at some of them, this one's at 56, 46, 36, 34, 34, 20. You know, they've still got some of them. Most of them are at least half, if not over. I mean, one of them's almost completely full. And they're under constant fire from my archers. So that's a testament to their defensive capabilities. So they're crossbowmen, and they're the best the Holy Roman Empire can get in that, but in that regard, against archers, they're very good. Unless they're outranged, of course, which they could be quite often because of that fact they're crossbowmen. But also because they're crossbowmen, they're also very effective against like knights and things. So I'm just running him down a bit, but I mean, I'm not going to get anywhere with this. But I'm going down with the fight, you know. So as is Reaver, but eventually he's going to break as well. But he fought really hard and really well. Both of us fought so close to the death that any victory that they have achieved is definitely a Pyrrhic one for sure. They've barely won it. I mean, it's so close that I mean, I dominated the infantry and cavalry duels in my battles, but the missile duel just threw too much for my missiles, which is unusual because I usually, every time I play as the Mongols, these guys, dismounted heavy archers are really good archers, as are the mounted horse archer divisions, but they didn't perform as much this time. This is my general. So we admit defeat. We know we're beaten, and we don't want to just be a pain and annoy our opponents. But as you can see, a ridiculously close fight. Only an average defeat. I had 1,031 men. I got 925 losses. 106 men left. I got a total of 837 kills and 24 captured for about a total of 860 odd. 861, just something like that. I don't know. 851, just whatever. The math isn't all that great at the moment. The Theevilguru, or Reaver as he likes to be known, is 1,096 men deployed. He lost 988, 108 men left, and he got 723 kills, and he had 67 captures for roughly around nearly 800. So Lord Little had 1,041, he had 715 losses, 326 men left, and he had 842 kills and 134 captures for a total of very close to 1,000. And Muwaza had 1,111, he had 742 losses, 369 left, and 871 and 39, so roughly around 900. So we had really pretty close kills. but they just came out slightly better. In the case of my fight with Muwaza, it came down to those puppies crossbow and being too defensively oriented, too much defence for me to break them through. While my other units didn't, I didn't get enough kills there, I didn't get rid of them fast enough. I got a bit unlucky with my horse archers. They wouldn't cantab circles. They weren't nearly as effective as they otherwise would have been, so it's unfortunate. I probably should have gone right around the back actually and just shot the back of his men. That might have been a little more effective, and of course he could have chased him with his horses, but that would have allowed me to use my horses even more effectively. But and the fight between Poland and Venice basically comes down to the fact that the Polish cav was destroyed much too soon, and that Venetian heavy infantry is way better than Polish infantry. So Khan's Guard 83, 80, 23, 57, so they all did pretty good except for this one. Dismounted heavy archers, they didn't do bad, 49, 37, 50, but they didn't do great either. Napatoons 133 and 38, they were really great. And I would ordinarily get my ass kicked in that infantry show against feudal knights with those dismounted heavy lancers, but because I had those Napatoons, it made a big difference. So they were able to actually, they didn't look like they did great, but against what they were up against, I'm pretty pleased with their actual results. The failure was the Mongol heavy archers and the dismounted heavy archers. Usually if you look at my other Mongol battles, they are the best units I have, so this was an unusual battle in that regard. So anyway, great game to Reaver, Lord Lidl and Muwaza. Thanks for playing, guys, appreciate it. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you soon next time.